Moses supposes his toes are roses. Yeah, Moses supposes his toes are roses. Moses supposes his toes are roses. Moses Supposes World, Episode 4. Thank you guys for being patient. Thank you for listening, tuning in. Hey, a little bit of a weird episode for you guys. I know that sports are back and there's been a lot of recent news and everything, but let's be human for a little bit. This is Mo Supposes World, not just Mo Supposes Sports. One thing I want to ask you guys, if you're talking to someone, there's a loved one in your life, maybe someone you got a little bit of a boo thing, I want you to think about maybe where you would be with that person long term if you were together forever, what you guys would do, what kind of activities you'd pick up, Would you get old and restless of each other and just end up watching news at 5 o'clock every single day for the rest of your life, eating microwave meals, doing what you got to do to get by? Or are you going to try to spice things up? Are you going to try to stay on on your partner's toes, keep them on their toes, keep going, keep them guessing, keep them doing what they're doing, whether it be, a loved one romantically, whether it just be a good friend you have, whatever it is, it's important to have those situations where you guys are elevating each other through different situations, experiences. You guys are strengthening your friendship. And that's something I really got to tell you about Jim and Andrea Cecel. Little bit of a, I'm an old soul, I will say. I'm a little bit of an old soul. So I'm walking through the grocery store. I see the paper. And I see the newspaper, the Seattle Times, and I'm thinking to myself, you know what? There might be an idea in there. So I'm doing some flipping. I'm doing some scrolling. And let me shout out, what is this guy's name? Steve Ringman. Steve Ringman from the Seattle Times did a great piece on Andrea and Jim Cecel, who basically have their own website called baseballroadtrip.net. And since 2002, these two lovebirds, they retired. They said that they were going to look for a new diversion in their lives. They wanted to figure out what they wanted to do with all their free time. And them both being avid baseball fans said, let's try to visit every single stadium in the country. I mean, some of the excerpts from this newspaper, they were great. I loved it. And it was a little bit of a heartthrobber, a little bit of a heart jerker, pulling the strings of the heart. But man, it was just a beautiful thing to read. Jim and Andrea talked about going around, for 18 years, have been seeing every single stadium, every single arena. They're going everywhere to watch baseball, from minor league, major league, Division II, college, whatever you want to say. And basically, they got 323 ballparks down and only 2 to go. I mean, it's insane. They got 2 of these left to go. I'd love to just read you guys some of these excerpts in here. I mean, it was just beautiful to listen to what they were saying. It was an enjoying and relaxing way to get away from everything we were used to, said Andrea Cecel, just to talk to people all over the country and spend some time with each other away from anything other than things that interfere. I mean, just beautiful. Couldn't have said it better myself. It was just a great way to see America, said Jim. And they said, in the first year, they went to 36 parks in 56 days, all west of the Rockies. Then the second year, they did 117 ballparks in 186 days. And after these years, they couldn't stop. By 2005, they had started in 2002. By 2005, they said, we're going to follow Lewis and Clark's trail. We're going to follow the Lewis and Clark trail and see every single stadium in there. That's something that I can really look up to. That's something that I could really, not only is that relationship goals, not only is this what you want to do with your bae. Are you kidding me? I'm trying to see every single basketball arena from Duke to the high school gym across my neighborhood to wherever. You know what I mean? I'd love to go to the Cameron indoor arena and be with the crazy crazies, and then and also go to all the NBA arenas and visit everywhere in the country. Because not only is it the game, not only did Jim and Andrea Cecel, Jim and Andrea, not only do they love baseball and they share this current love for baseball with each other, but this is what life is all about, right? You find someone and you find something that you guys like to connect on. And this is talking about everything, in work, in friendships, and everything. You know what I mean? People are generally good people, right? We like to think the world is full of people that are loving and happy and everything, but we tend to fall out of disagreements. We don't always see eye to eye, so it makes us think that we don't like people, that we don't, whether we think less of people. And in reality, it's like, hey, we just need something to connect on. Jim and Andrea were able to find something that they can connect on. And yes, they've made a website. Go visit it, baseballroadtrip.net. They made a website. They got traction. Obviously, they're in the Seattle Times, so some sort of viral, they got some sort of viral moments out of it, and they got a little bit of their fame recognized for it. But it's not about the fame, and it's not about the viral moments. It's not about that. What it is about building a relationship through experiences. This is just, we live in a world where it's Instagram goals and, this is great, this is that. Let me tell you something. If you want to take anything out of this little expert, learn to be a little bit like Jim and Andrea, baby. Stay off of the, let's visit here or let's do this social media thing. Let's do this for that. Let's do it for the clout. Let's do it for whatever it is. Jim and Andrea holding it down, baby. Holding it down. You think Jim is worried about the gram? You think Andrea is worried about updating her Facebook post? No. They got 2 stadiums to go. They've been to 323 baseball arenas, stadiums, diamonds, whatever you want to call it. You think they're worried about the gram? They got bigger goals. They got bigger fish to fry. They got bigger cards to cape. You know what I'm saying? They got bigger things to accomplish than that. It's beautiful. Here's a little expert, them talking about Kansas City. Community America Ballpark, Kansas City, home of the Kansas City T-Bones. What a name. The Kansas City T-Bones, baby. Sheesh, that is a mascot if I've ever seen one, because that's American. That's strength. So the Kansas City T-Bones of the Northern Independent Baseball League, May 26, 2004. A UPS delivery person, shout out all the UPS delivery people out there. For real, y'all holding it down. A UPS delivery person delivers the ball for the first pitch to Sizzle, the mascot. Oh, that's so sick. Oh, that's so sick. The Kansas City T-Bones, they're of the North Independent Baseball League, their mascot is called Sizzle. Just beautiful. Just beautiful. And so this UPS delivery person delivers the ball for the first pitch to Sizzle, the mascot, who then throws it. Sizzle is a Red Bull who is a good fan interactor. He needed a rest at the end of the game and put his feet up on Andrea. Oh, how cute is that? Andrea got to meet Sizzle. Sizzle put his feet up. Hey, I bet Jim wasn't too happy about that, but that's for later. Jim probably looking at Sizzle like, hey, rest your feet up somewhere else. Rest your feet up somewhere else. I wonder how many different moments that Jim has had, because Jim is taking Andrea everywhere. You know what I mean? I wonder how many different, crazy moments they, experienced. And Jim had to throw hands with anybody. He had to go in the parking lot with anybody, take it outside. You go to all these baseball. Yeah, we know. We've seen it, guys. You go to enough sports events, you're eventually you tick off the wrong ticker. You know what I mean? You're eventually going to tick the wrong clock the wrong way. You know what I mean? So, they probably didn't put it in the website here, but I bet Jim has had to throw the old guns around. Had to at least, maybe fake a punch at somebody. Or let's get past that. Here's another thing that happened at Clint Leitner Baseball Field, home of the Garden City Wind of the Picos. The home of the Garden City Wind. Oh, it's just called the Garden City. I thought it was the Garden City Wind of the Picos. The league is called the Picos Independent League. The team is just called the Garden City Wind. That's tough, guys. I don't get it. Garden City Wind? You could have just called it like the Garden City Breeze, you know what I mean? Or the Garden City Windstorm, you know what I mean? Wind is just so neutral. There's nothing. Is it a breeze? Is it a tornado? What kind of wind are we talking about here? It's so variable. But the Picos Independent League, this is from June 16th, 2017, so pretty recent. In order to keep the seating area clean, cups are provided to put sunflower holes and peanut shells in. On the right field outfield wall is a sign incentive for the players to win a steak. For the players to win a steak, whatever, provided by the host families. When a Winds player does something great, a fan will say, "Way to go, Wind." The other fans respond with, "Whoosh." I'm sorry if Jim and Andrea, but that is a lame "way to go, Wind." Man, that is just the lamest little catchphrase ever. We can think of something better than that on the second. What is it? The Garden City Wind? Okay, let's, wait. Here comes the wind. Whoosh. That's even better. You get that chant going. Here comes the wind. Whoosh. Here comes the wind. Whoosh. Here comes the wind. Whoosh. That sounds way better than way to go wind. Whatever. Way to go wind is all right. I don't know why I'm bashing it. Here's another excerpt. I don't know what that word is. I think I've tried to say it 3 times already. I don't know what expert. I'm an expert in excerpts. How about that? Will that work for you? I'm an expert in excerpts. Here's another excerpt. Warren Ballpark, Bisbee, Arizona, home of the Bisbee Blue. Okay, another lame name, and it's another team out of Pecos Independent League. Pecos Independent League, or Pecos Independent League, or Pico de Gallo Independent League. You guys need to figure it out. Because first you got the Garden City Wind. That doesn't even rhyme or make sense. This one at least sounds better, but it's the Bisbee Blue. Bisbee Blue. What is blue? Why is the mascot blue? It's just blue. So is it the sky? Is it? You could have called it the Bisbee Bullies. Or nope, you don't want to be a bully actually. Hey, don't be a bully. Be a nice person. The Bisbee Nice People. The Bisbee Bulls sounds way better than Bisbee Blue, but whatever, we'll get over it. Maybe those names are good. Who knows? But apparently, this is from July 19th, 2014. It's the thinnest chalk baselines ever seen. Before the game, the Blues players gave their host families bouquets of flowers. Blue Mo is the mascot. Oh my gosh. I feel bad for Blue Mo. I don't even know what Blue Mo looks like. Blue Mo is the mascot. Jake LaMotta, a lifelong baseball fan, middleweight boxing champion in 1949 and 1994 years old, was in attendance. Oh, how cool is that? Jake LaMotta, a lifelong baseball fan, was at the Bisbee Blues baseball game. Bisbee Blues boxing champion. There's so many B's in there. You guys like that alliteration? Okay, well, that's a little fun expert. Here's another one. The Depot at Cleburne Station, home of the Cleburne Railroaders of the Independent American Association. Okay, I guess that's the best mascot we've heard so far. The Cleburne Railroaders. This is from June 13th, 2017. For a between-inning activity, a fan gets to try to hit the broadside of a barn. Cleburne. You guys need I don't know, maybe this barn thing is fun. They get three swings at a baseball on the tee to hit the side of a barn that is towed into center field. A common t-shirt seen at the stadium has written on it, "A small town with big game. I enjoyed my evening at the Depot." You know what? A small town with big game, I like that. Okay, I was going to clown on Cleburne Railroaders, but I like that. It's a small town with big game. Stay legitimate. What are we doing here? Small town, big game. That's kind of a good way to live life almost. Keep a small town with big game. You know what I mean? Keep your circle small. Maybe I'm not going to dive into it all that much. But hey, what a great those are just a couple of the excerpts from Jim and Andrea Sissel's website. That's baseballroadtrip.net. I don't want anyone to think I'm stealing here. But, hey, good luck to these guys. Apparently it says due to COVID-19, it throws baseball and travel into disarray. All of the year's trips have been canceled, and so Jim and Andrea's planned retirement from traveling to ballparks, they're forced to do so. I mean, they can't stop at 323, and the new goal is to get past 325. This year's journeys would have taken them over 330, so he's decided to forge ahead against next year, pandemic permitting. Good for them. Good for them. I can't say for certain that they're going to make it, or if they're going to perhaps I don't know. I feel bad. I don't want to say it. But Jim and Andrea are getting pretty old. Are getting pretty old. We need to get these guys to some stadiums. If you want to talk about no fans at the baseball stadiums, they need to get Jim and Andrea Sissel. Hey, good for them. That's true love right there. And if I could do anything like these guys did, I will be certainly happy with how things turned out. That was a great little bit, and I definitely think, one thing you can take away from that is, building these life lessons, and not life lessons, but life experiences. It's, I'm clowning on some of these excerpts that came out of their website, but honestly, it's cute. It's cute. It's like, these are relationship goals right here. You know what I mean? Jim and Andreas SL, I applaud you. I am very happy that you guys are doing what you're doing, and I am hoping that you guys get past your goal of 325 stadiums, because you only got 2 more to go. They are ready to rumble and ready to go. Jim and Andrea, good luck to you guys. Also, we have real news to go over, guys. This is these are real times. These are very real times, and sports are back. I don't know if you guys saw Mission Impossible 5, I think. Was it Total Recall or Ghost Recon or something like that? Ghost Protocol. Yes, that's what it was. Mission Impossible Ghost Protocol. You know when Tom Cruise is in Dubai or wherever that sand city is, and he's climbing that skyscraper? He's got those, I can't even think of them right now, but he's got those gloves that are the sticky gloves, and he's on the side of the building. And when he turns and he sees that sandstorm coming, that was maybe me in February. I was Tom Cruise on that skyscraper, just 1 hand, 2 hand, 3 hand, 4, 1 hand, 2 hand. You know what I'm saying? I'm struggling. I'm not looking down. I'm scared of heights, so I can't look down. I'm looking up. I'm staying diligent. And you know what I see? I see it. Oh my God, I see the sandstorm. Obviously, I can't say for certain or say for not certain that this thing is all over. I definitely can't say I'm not here to give you guys your updates on that, but what I will give you updates on is sports are back, ladies and gentlemen. MLB, fully back, fully guaranteed, fully back, fully guaranteed. They got their games going back on again, and then the NBA finally has some scrimmages going too. I know I tuned into that Lakers-Mavericks one. Whew. I'm telling you, when LeBron threw down that jam, made me feel some kind of way. It made me feel some kind of way. So, I think that the sandstorm, we were in the sandstorm for a while, and it was getting tough. I'm trying to think, I didn't write anything down, but I'm trying to think of things on the top of my head that happened that kept us going, that kept us moving, that kept us engaged to get to this point, because goodness, it was grim. It was looking real grim there for a while. I am so happy that we finally have sports back. Watching that NBA, I mean, hey, baseball, I'm happy you're back for sure, but watching those NBA scrimmages, it was like a kid that woke up on Christmas. You know what I mean? And the kid that didn't know it was Christmas, that never heard about Christmas and woke up to all those presents. That's what happened for me, because I didn't know how bad I needed that. It was getting rough there for a while. Oh my goodness, it was getting rough there for a while. But nevertheless, sports are back. Very happy sports are back. Very happy the NBA is back. LeBron James, let's get this thing busting, baby. Let's get this thing busting. Anthony Davis, let's get it rolling. It's going to be scary. It's going to be scary. It's going to be a scary time for sports just because there's so much of it. Baseball, can't wait to actually tune in, maybe see if I can get into that a little bit. I'm more of a playoff baseball guy, but hey, you got to respect what respect is due. That's America's pastime. I defend baseball. I don't know why, but I defend it. When people say, oh, I don't like baseball, I don't like baseball. It's not fun. It's boring. I can't do it. What I say to them is you better put some respect on that name. You better put respect on baseball's name. And they come up and they're, wait, you watch baseball? You like baseball? You know what I tell them? No, absolutely not. I don't watch baseball. But I will defend it. Shout out Babe Ruth, baby. I'm still eating Babe Ruths to this day. Just because of Babe Ruth hitting record, baby. Babe Ruth, you owe it to Babe Ruth. You owe it to the classics of the game. This is America's pastime. It's America's sport. And especially when playoff baseball comes around, I don't know what October is going to look like. Honestly, I'm not going to act like I know anything about what's going on with October, what's going on with baseball. But I will tell you one thing is I'm going to tune in. I'm going to tune in because we finally got some sports back. We finally got some sport. It's honestly like you were told to eat the same thing every single day for 50 years or like 50 days. Sorry, I'm not trying to be dramatic, but meet me in the middle. Maybe like 500 days. It's like you were told to eat nothing but cabbage for 30 days. And after those 30 days, It doesn't matter if you want to eat the healthiest food in the world, if you want to eat some cabbage or whatever it is, like, you're just going to eat, right? You know what I mean? That's how I feel with baseball. I've been eating carrots this entire time. I've been eating cabbage and broccoli for this entire time. Hey, if once the ban gets lifted, if you're going to give me some beans, if you're going to give me some rice, you know what I mean? If you're going to give me some peanuts, you know what I mean? I'm going to dive into those no matter what. So that's how I feel with baseball. That's how I feel with baseball. I wasn't able to watch it, so now I'm going to appreciate the fact that I am able to watch it. Do you see what I'm saying? Do you see what I'm saying? I think there's something to that. I think that we should all do something to that. Let's get past the baseball talk for a while. What I want to talk about is I'm in Seattle right now. I'm in the area. And when people ask, did you hear about the news? Did you hear about the Seattle Kraken? The Seattle Kraken, the beast arising out of the seas. Did you hear about that sea monster from 200 years ago that fishermen tell fables of and storytellers are trembled by? Have you heard of the Kraken? And have you heard of the myths surrounding its story? That was a little bit of my intro for the Seattle Kraken. Honestly, I'm very about it. I don't know how I feel. I don't know if I'm very excited. I don't know if I like them or not. If I don't like them, I don't know what it is. But I don't know I don't know how I feel. The Seattle Kraken sounds bad. Can we say that much? Seattle Kraken does not sound good. But they did the logo right. The logo is kind of cool. They got the little red eye in there. They got the tentacle coming out. I'm not going to try to figure out how to describe this, but if you can look it up, I would look it up because it's looking cool. The jerseys aren't horrible. Logo isn't horrible. Color scheme isn't horrible. But when you say the words, the Seattle Kraken, we are going to go see the Seattle Kraken. That just, it doesn't roll. And I was going to maybe complain a little bit more, but you know what? It could be a lot worse. That's where I'm at with this. It could be a lot worse. Seattle Kraken is something I'll live with. But one thing that was funny about this little name change, this little, not name change, but this little update that was given, because we knew that Seattle was going to get an NHL team. We just weren't sure what they were going to call it. We weren't sure the marketing strategy behind it, what they were going to try to go for. But when they finally revealed this, guess what else gets announced within 2 hours? I think it might have been in the same hour. But Washington decided to change their name. And, you know, I've been talking about this a little bit in the last couple podcasts, but Washington changing their name was, hey, it was a talking point. You know, the Washington Redskins, that's a historic franchise, a historic name, and a historic logo, everything is historic about it, you know, and maybe not in the best historic way. You know what I'm saying? Not only were there schemes and potential foul play run inside of that franchise, but also just, you know, they kept that name for so long. Never mind all that. They finally gave us an update. And one thing about you guys should know about these NFL people, these people that work in the front offices and all that, hey, I don't think they're hiring dummies. I do not think that any NFL franchise has absolute dummies in their marketing department, in their branding department, in their exposure department. I just made up all those departments, but you know what I mean. How in the world does Washington, a football franchise in the NFL in Washington, D.C., in the nation's capital, how do they not scrape some idea together for a franchise name? I don't know what it is. And you know what? They might have done the right move by just keeping it neutral, but Washington football team. The Washington football team is easily the worst name in sports history. It has to be. It has to be because it is no name. I did not see that coming. I thought they were going to change it to maybe the Washington Red Tails, which was the name of the African American Air Force pilots. And I don't want to act like I know, but that was a certain idea that was getting thrown out there. The Red Tails, the Red Wolves, which would have been kind of cool, you know. And I guess maybe they're waiting because they want to get it right. But man, the Washington football team, it sounds like the team that you play against. You know what I mean? Like if you're playing in a video game and you got to play against the CPU and they don't have a team or something like that, like that's who you play against. Just no logo, just completely generic, just CPU. That's what you know what they should have called it? They should have called it the Washington CPU. I don't know what CPU stands for, but I bet it's computer the computer program unit or the computer programming. I don't know what it is, but still, they should have done something. They should have done something. I cannot believe that they went for the generic viewpoint. Washington football team. Honestly, I'm probably going to buy some Washington football team gear just to see like what it is. Like what you guys are just going to, I don't know. You guys are just going to sell things that just say Washington on them? It's like you guys work for the parks department. Come visit Washington and the Washington football team. They should just play like in the White House or something, or like on the White House lawn or something like that. Spice it up. I mean, if you guys are just going to call it the Washington football team, you guys got to do something special. Maybe do I don't know. You could have been the Washington Secret Service. You know what I mean? Something cool like that. The Washington Henchmen, the Washington Wonder, the Washington Wonder Bread. Wonder Bread. You could have gotten that sponsorship from Wonder Bread. Oh, Ricky Bobby style. Shake and bake. I'm excited. I'm excited that we got sports back. I'm excited that we have actual, real life, real players, real televised sports back. It's looking good. NBA came out saying that they've tested everyone. They've gotten 0 positive tests back. Woohoo! That's great news. We like hearing that. I'm very excited for the sports that are coming up, and I'm also very excited not only to cover them on this podcast, on Instagram page, at Sports Moses, on Twitter, Supposes Moses1, but I am most excited, guys, and this is the heart-to-heart here. This is the realness here. I want to say something. I'm not a critique. I'm a fan. I am not a critic. I am a fan. I am not here to give criticism. I am here to praise. I don't believe I know everything. I don't think that I'm out here giving the best takes in the world. But I'll tell you one thing is I'm a fan of a lot of these players. I'm a fan of a lot of the things that are going on in this world. And I'm a fan of just the entire conglomerate of the sports world. And the world in general. I love it, guys. I am very excited for these times as a fan. Completely as a fan. Obviously, I'm definitely going to be updating the podcast. I'm going to be updating this page, updating all my Instagram pages. You know what I'm saying. But at the end of the day, as a sports fan, I hope you are excited just as much as I am. Because we are in a golden age of sports. This is like the gold rush of sports, the sports rush. I am so excited to be sharing it with you guys. And I very much hope that you're able to tune into everything. Because, ooh, baby, this is history in the making. Where were you when we played sports in the middle of a pandemic? Because we figured it out, dog. It might have taken a while, but we got them sports back. Going 100% miles per hour. That doesn't make sense, but neither does a lot of this podcast. So thanks again for listening to a full podcast. A little bit shorter than usual. Keep it short and sweet. Hope you guys enjoy your weekend. And most of all, love you. Thank you for listening to Supposes World.